We're well and truly into autumn and time for our migrating birds to head south for the winter. Swifts are some of our most spectacular and noisy migrants. Now, they fly here to breed, but their numbers are falling because they can't find places to nest. Richard Daniel has been to Cambridge to see if they can save the swift.
They've been called the devil's bird due to their high-pitched squealing. We only see them for a few short months every summer as they whirl and wheel around our rooftops. These days there are still a lot of things we don't know about swifts, but one thing we can be sure of is their numbers are declining dramatically. I'm going to find out why that's happening and whether two of the most ambitious projects in the country, both in East Anglia, can slow down that decline before it's too late. Ever since the Romans, swifts have shared our homes with us, using nooks and crannies under the eaves in which to nest. Shall we go? But now that relationship is breaking down. Modern building methods mean there are no access holes in most new homes. So here is the problem. For centuries, we've given swifts the perfect place to live. But now, effectively, we're closing the door. And without anywhere for them to breed, swifts will die out. Fulbourn in Cambridgeshire is home to one of the biggest swift colonies in East Anglia. This estate is perfect for swifts. Every year, more than 60 pairs return here to breed. The reason it's so good is up there. The tiny gaps between the wooden board and the concrete are just the right size for swifts to get in and make their nests. And over the years, people living here have built up a huge affection for the birds.
It's the first sign of summer. It's usually about May the 6th or 7th every year, and you're wandering about and suddenly you see one. And you come home and you say, the swifts are back.
It is part of our lives. We've lived here a long time and they've been part of it from day one.
You can hear them all the time chirping away and see them as they whiz past the windows.
But there's a big problem here. Most of the houses on this estate are due to be demolished. Now, in the past, that would have been a disaster for the swifts. But the developers have a plan. As the old houses are pulled down, these new homes are being built. But this is an estate with a difference.
Swift conservation has been at the forefront really of the design of this site. We've been trying out two different types of nest boxes. We've got internal cavity boxes and the external mounted box that you can see around the estate. We've managed to secure 125 boxes in phase one alone. That's 75 internal chambers and 50 double chambers on the externally mounted boxes.
So you've actually got more homes for swifts than you have for humans. Now, Kieran, the RSPB's really worried about swifts, the loss of nesting sites, but what they're trying here is revolutionary, really, isn't it?
It is, and it's hugely ambitious. I mean, swifts are having a tough time of it, declined by 47% in the last 10 years alone. That's a really steep and quite shocking decline. A lot of it is down to renovations, people refurbishing houses and old buildings, or knocking down old buildings like the ones that are around here. So if you can encourage those birds to come and move to new sites like this, it's absolutely brilliant and a really pioneering step. They're certainly prospecting at these new nest boxes already, and that's a great sign. So fingers crossed the birds will be encouraged to move from their old houses to their new ones.
But this is uncharted territory. There's no guarantee it's going to work. At St Mary's Church in Ely, they're also experimenting. Church restoration often means traditional nesting places for swifts are blocked up.
I knew there were swifts in here, and the swifts were just nesting between the boards and the stonework. And I thought to myself, I can do something here. I'll design some special boxes and see if we could put them into St Mary's to make a permanent nest site for swifts here.
So how many have you got up there?
Initially we put in 16.
And successful?
Yes, first year, success first year.
We looked after the end of the breeding season for evidence, and I think there was evidence of 6 or 7 pairs of swifts using the boxes, which was very heartening because they're not that easy to get into new accommodation. And now it's probably up to 13, 14 or maybe even 15 pairs. So we're very, very happy about the success of St Mary's Ely.
The Ely Diocese Swifts Group now has boxes in at least 6 more churches across Cambridgeshire. But you don't need to own a church or be building a new housing estate to help swift populations recover. You can adapt your own home.
That is what I would call a swift hotel.
Absolutely.
And your occupancy rate?
Well, we've got 4 breeding pairs this year and we've acquired 2 additional prospecting pairs, so we're up to 6.
Oh look, that's amazing. There's one going in now.
Yeah, you see, that's one of our breeders. I mean, he didn't mess about, he just went straight in, and if you blink, you'll miss it. Oh look, and there's that bird fluttering. That's a prospecting bird, and it just hasn't got a clue yet until it learns exactly where the entrance is.
I can also see a little face on that one.
Yeah.
Just on the entrance, it looks as if there's one peeking out. So, any successes, any chicks?
Yeah, in fact, I can show you some chicks if you come and see. We've been filming them on a CCTV. So we've got 2 chicks, and they're just starting to get their feathers. Look. And you see all the insects in the pouch of this second bird? No, he's decided to muscle the other one out. He's going to have his turn at feeding. There you go. Get a mouthful of that. Look what's happened now. There's a young bird trying to get into the box, and these 2 guys have gone to the entrance to scream their heads off to say, keep out of here.
So this is the defensive bit.
That's right.
You've become obviously very successful at building these boxes now, and you're expanding your design range, as it were.
Oh yeah, this is an idea based on a pole, a colony box on a pole. And wouldn't it be nice to have one of these in every supermarket car park around the country and really get the swift population going? So I can show you another one. This is more expensive, but blimey, the birds are worth it. But it's up to people to use their imagination as to how can you build space for swifts into new buildings so that we can really help this bird, which greatly enhances the environment for everybody.
Deborah Lauterpark is also passionate about saving the swift. She cares for injured ones.
Deborah, what's the story behind these birds?
One got flicked through a bedroom window as it was flying up to its nest by a cat. So it has a puncture wound, but it's mended and it's ready for release. Another one has trauma to one of the wings, and that's almost mended.
Look at them. They are fabulous, aren't they? You look at their wings, they almost remind me of sickles. They're curved. I mean, they are just made for flight, aren't they? Made for being in the sky. And it's such a shame, isn't it, to think that because of changes to housing, we might lose the swift.
They require so little of us in terms of nesting places, and they're such joyous birds. It would be tragic to lose them.
Which is why pioneering experiments like that at Fulbourn are so important. I've come back to see if the scheme is working.
Well, lots more people have moved on to the estate. The question is, have the birds been moving with them, or have they, Chris?
Yes, they have. There's been a lot of activity around here.
Hear them?
In fact, you can hear them now. Yeah, that they've been surveying the site. 1 or 2 have actually gone into the nest boxes, and they're obviously eyeing them up for future use, which is great news. They've stayed with us, which is great.